taken from the Great Barrier Reef and winds up in an office fish tank.
I don't believe this.
No.
Nemo's father, Marlin, and his comic sidekick, Dory, spend the entire film traveling the seas in search of Nemo.
I'm having fish tonight!
It's really funny, but it's also the most emotional movie we've made, and it's the most visually stunning animated film ever made. You finish one of these films and we're on pins and needles. It could go anywhere. We don't know. It depends on how it touches people. A lot of people at our studio think it's the best film we've ever made.
What would you expect to hear from Steve Jobs, the head of the studio that made Finding Nemo? This is the same Steve Jobs who is CEO of Apple Computers and who, back in 1986, bought a small movie-making software company called Pixar.
I bought it for about $10 million.
And what's it worth now?
The company's worth about $3 billion right now.
Not a bad investment. Hardly. Just look at Pixar's colossal Northern California studio, where they make their films, and where the motto seems to be, work hard, play harder. About 700 very lucky people actually get paid for working here. Their average age, 30-something. Average IQ, something else. Pixar proudly boasts PhDs and masters of the craft, graduates from some of the finest schools.
Yes, I went to Harvard.
And with her Harvard degree,
I'm making cartoons, yeah.
making cartoons or animated features is what Pixar is all about. But they're also keen on nurturing the creative spirit, even when it comes to office decor. Just look at where the executive vice president, John Lasseter, works.
This is my office.
What do you mean this is your?
This is it.
It's a toy store.
I had so many toys at home, my wife kept saying, just take them to work, take them to work. And so,
If Steve Jobs is Pixar's financial whiz, Lasseter is its creative guru. It's heart and soul. What do you got up here?
these are G.I. Joes. It was Hot Wheels and G.I. Joes. That was it for my life.
When it comes to making animated films, he's done it all. A writer, an animator, a director. And on Nemo, he is the big fish, the executive producer. I also noticed this toy over here, which looks amazing like an Oscar.
That's an Academy Award. It's the one for Tin Toy.
His early work in 3D computer animation was considered so revolutionary that he was hailed throughout the industry as the next Walt Disney. Do you not hear a small voice in within saying, I'm going to be the Walt Disney of the digital age?
Well, I'm working hard to try to be the John Lasseter of the digital age. Now, I got to take you to this one office.
Lasseter is 46 years old, married, and has 5 kids, which might explain his childlike enthusiasm for everything. And it's infectious.
Let's come on in.
So when he invited me into this curious crawl space, I couldn't resist.
So welcome to the Love Lounge, Dan.
The Love Lounge is a kitschy clubhouse of sorts that every company should have.
You know, it's fun to have this, and you know, normally it's like this would be something that you would have to keep secret from the management, you know, but not here. This is like our favorite stop on the tour.
But when it comes to making movies, all their energies turn to the production. Work on Finding Nemo began back in 1999 with a spark of an idea, some drawings, and lots of research. They started by studying the sea, observing the waves at Northern California beaches, watching how light danced on the ocean's surface. And to get a true sense of the environment, they went scuba diving in the waters off Kona, Hawaii. It was rough work, but somebody had to do it.
The animators on Nemo had to kind of throw out a lot of their innate sense of physics, because gravity is different. It's fluid, they're floating and they're moving, and it's more of this fluid animation of the fins and the bodies and propulsion and all is very different than being bound to the ground by gravity.
Lee Unkrich and Andrew Stanton were the directors of Finding Nemo.
The thing that was so important to us is that when people went to see this movie, we wanted them to feel the weight of the water around them and not feel like they were just observers in an aquarium. I never want the audience for 5 seconds thinking that they're not underwater.
What do you like most about this?
This film, that it's done. Yeah. That it's done. So you guys need to match that.
To get it done took 2 years of production.
Hey, I've seen a boat. You have? Uh-huh.
Characters were developed, then programmed into the computer using special Pixar software. John Lasseter and supervising animator Dylan Brown pick up the process from there.
Hey, I've seen a boat. You have?
This is a layout, so this is no animation, but for us, it's like, okay, now we're starting to make the movie. So the next stage is animation.
Hey, I've seen a boat.
And you start seeing they put just enough in here to see the acting, see the eyes looking around and blinking and stuff, because eyes are such an important part of the acting of our characters.
Now we're pretty far along, but we're not yet finished.
Correct.
No.
It's gone through everything. This is how the animation will appear in the final film.
Hey, I've seen a boat.
You have?
And it passed by not too long ago.
A white one?
Hi, I'm Dory.
Where? Which way?
In case you didn't recognize the voices, that's Albert Brooks as Nemo's father, Marlin,
Oh, yeah. A fish can breathe out here.
Huh? You got a problem, buddy?
and the voice of Dory
Do you? Oh, big fella.
was done by Ellen DeGeneres.
See, I suffer from short-term memory loss. I suffer from short-term memory loss.
She's so happy that somebody has finally written a part for her in a major motion picture, but it's a fish.
I shall call him Squishy and...
Fish that don't have huge Hollywood egos and don't demand big Hollywood salaries. Animator Mark Walsh specializes in making faces.
Like here we have a lot of shapes that are built off of pictures that we've seen of Ellen DeGeneres. We've got cute, doe eyes, that's a cute one. The humph, indignant.
But more challenging than controlling the characters was animating what is most prevalent in the film, water. Technical director Orrin Jacob.
If we can recreate nature through simulation and then control and adjust it, you could actually attempt to direct water.
A necessary skill when simulating the inside of a whale, a scene similar to the hand-painted one created in the 1940s film Pinocchio.
We certainly watched that scene in Pinocchio many times as reference for how Disney back in the day chose to caricature inside of a whale and water and how it flows and how it crashes in upon itself. It's not a better or worse thing, it's just quite different in the sense that the physical detail and the realism that we can get closer to, we're able to get far closer to what real water would actually do. But we can do that with a lot of computing power and a lot of research and get that to look this way.
But technology aside, Pixar is single-minded about what's really important in a film.
The most important thing in the movie is the story and the characters. Everything that we do on a film is driven by that story.
Hello?
Pixar proved their proficiency at storytelling with their breakthrough film, Toy Story. Audiences were dazzled back in 1995 by the 3D imagery and the heartwarming story of Woody the Cowboy
To infinity and beyond.
and space hero Buzz Lightyear, who was modeled after Lasseter himself.
I kept telling the guys, he's got to always stand like this, arms akimbo, and with a one eyebrow up, because they always did that. And so I kept doing this. It's like this, guys. See? Like that.
You're mocking me, aren't you? Oh, no. Buzz, look, an alien! Where? Hello, kids.
Their next films, A Bug's Life,
Why, you're valuable property!
Toy Story 2, and Monsters, Inc. all became blockbuster hits, one surpassing the other at the box office. The Toy Story formula seemed to work. A touch of innocence,
Ooh, way to go.
a bit of sarcasm, and a lot of heart.
You never forget kids like Emily or Andy, but they forget you.
All of our stories have a lot of heart to them, because I think that's one of the most important things in a film, is to have a story that not only makes you laugh, but as Walt Disney always says, for every laugh there should be a tear.
If this is some kind of practical joke, it's not funny. And I know funny. I'm a clownfish.
There were plenty of laughs when, after 4 years of production, Finding Nemo was finally finished.
You kind of have to draw everybody into the atrium and have these, 21 cork salutes and just make a big deal just for some sort of release.
The movie itself will be released in a few days and has been getting heavy promotion and media attention. But almost over